Hello, I'm Ray DeCunto with Police One. I'm here today to talk to you about some final tips associated with serving dynamic search warrants. First is the first threat. Second tip, medical personnel or medics. Number 3, evidence. 4, debriefing. And 5, training. Let's talk about tip number 1, first threat. Previously we've talked about entries, button hook, crisscross, entering into a room. The big question that comes up, especially with new members that haven't done entries on dynamic search warrants, is what chooses my direction as the first member in? Well, it's first threat. People are threats first, unknown areas are threats second. So if you're stepping through a doorway and you see a person inside that room, that'll choose your direction. The second member entering will go opposite of you. Together you will have completely cleared that room, corner to corner, as we have talked about earlier. Tip number 2, medical personnel. Some agencies, larger agencies that may have SWAT teams, have SWAT medics. It is very important, as I think about this, to have a medic present. The agency I retired from, we had SWAT medics. Anytime in narcotics we did an operation involving a buy bust, a search warrant, anything with any type of tactical takedown, we had a medic present. And I can tell you, even if you don't have a SWAT medic, could you contact your local fire department and paramedics and have someone standing by? Because when one of us gets hurt or somebody gets hurt at that residence, we need to get medical personnel there. We got to remember that golden hour rule in the medical field. Tip number 3, evidence. Now I want to say that safety is the number one concern. And I've said this many times in the past. I have not seen, nor does there exist, any amount of dope worth us being killed over or hurt. Safety is the utmost importance, but we have to remember when the house is secured, we have to protect the evidence. It's the evidence that makes the case. So once the house is secured, let's be careful where we walk and what we touch inside that house so that we can make a case on our suspects. 4, debrief. Like in the beginning, we brief. At the end, we must debrief. This too has to be a classroom setting. And we have to talk about what went right, what went wrong, what training needs, what equipment. And I can tell you from experience, you have to have thick skin. If you made a mistake, we need to talk about it so others can learn from it. That's what debriefing is all about, and this is the importance of it, so that for the next operation, we've learned something. 5, training. And this is what I have to say about training. We train real, and we train often. I've heard it said that practice makes perfect. No, perfect practice makes perfect. We need to train and train as real as we can and often. Let's review the 5 tips. Remember, first threat, medical personnel, evidence, debrief, and training. In closing, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You have to have a plan. You've got to brief that plan, rehearse the plan. We must be flexible in the operation, and all of this together will make for a safe execution of a dynamic search warrant. I'm Ray DeCunto with Police One. Thank you. I'll see you next time.